Hello, everybody. I'm Linda. I'm the old bird. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have an amazing guest joining me today. She's a quilter, but she's far more than a quilter. Let me read it to you. She is a long arm quilter specializing in digital pantograph designs. I have no idea what that is, but her name is Kelly Ibarra. Did I pronounce your name right, Kelly?
You did. Very good.
Wonderful. Hi, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome. I'm excited to be here. Thanks to the internet and to Lisa Woolfork, we would never have met.
That's right. Now, Kelly, before we get started, I need to ask you, tell me what digital pantograph designs are.
So digital pantograph designs are digital quilting patterns that I sew out on what is my long arm quilting machine. So it's kind of like computer aided design, and the pattern, so I have a long arm machine, and a long arm is a big sewing machine that moves along rails to quilt.
Okay.
So the sewing machine moves instead of moving the fabric. So the quilt top, the batting, and the backing are adhered to the frame, and the machine moves around. So instead of me moving the machine, I program the computer to move the machine and stitch out the digital pattern.
My goodness. And you create the pattern, or does the pattern program in?
So I don't design the patterns myself. I'm not that good yet. I download patterns into my machine. I buy them on the internet and download them. And then I program to fit the size of the quilt and the dimensions of the blocks in the quilts.
My goodness. You have taught me so much already. I'm learning to quilt correctly. I've quilted, but not correctly. And I'm trying to learn how to quilt correctly. I never really understood what a long arm machine was. So the long arm moves as opposed to the fabric moving.
Correct.
And those long things are things holding the quilt.
Correct. They're steel rods. And you wrap. I can send you a short video if you'd like. After we're done here, later today, I can send you a couple videos so you can see the machine actually in action.
Okay, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
When you get a long arm machine, it is only good to quilt the 3 layers together.
For the most part, yes. That's the main purpose of it. So my machine it's 10 feet long.
Okay.
And it takes up half our garage.
I guess so, 10 feet long.
Yeah, it's about 6 feet wide and 10 feet long.
Oh my goodness.
It's huge.
Yes.
It's big. It's very big.
Now, when you get a long arm, can you quilt any type? Like, I'm thinking about trying to create a satin piece with cottons or any type of fabric.
Any type of fabric. So it depends on the machine and its capabilities. Mine will even sew through leather. So a dealer who I know and sells the brand of machine I have, she was making leather notebook covers for someone. And she was sewing, so she had the leather and a backing, and she was sewing right through the leather. So it'll sew through multiple seams, all kinds of different fabric. Basically anything that you want to put in, adhere to the machine, as long as you have a big enough needle and the right kind of thread.
I got you. Now, Kelly, when you use a long arm, what do you do about the edges? The like this I don't know what you call it, but this one I didn't use that seam binding, I guess you call it.
The binding.
I just turned it and stitched it. So now, if I had quilted this on a long arm, what would I do about the edges?
So typically you would have the raw edge, and then you would create a double-sided binding and adhere the binding. But I can, for customers, I can put the binding on the top. I can sew that on, so you would fold it over and hand tack it on the back.
Okay, so that can't be done on the long arm.
I can't do both sides on the long arm, no. I could do one side on the long arm and then flip it over. I could either take it to my sewing machine or I could hand tack it down myself.
Okay. Now,
and then the facing, like what you did on that one where you flip the back fabric to the top.
Yeah.
I could do that too, but I'd have to be, yes, where you flipped it over. I could do that too. I could quilt it for you, and then I'd have to be very careful not to go over the edges of the quilt top. So you'd be able to fold the back. That takes more skill than I have right now. So yeah, you could flip it over.
I got you. Okay. Now, Kelly, when you using the long arm, can you make those? This is another quilt I want to make. Those crazy quilts with the different types of stitches.
Yes, you know. I can. I could do it, but I would hand guide it. It doesn't. I don't have the machine that does embroidery. So there's a module that can be added to the machine that would actually do embroidery stitches. Yes, but I don't have that. I don't have that software.
You're saying that a long arm can do embroidery stitches if you have the software?
If you have the model I have will allow for embroidery, some embroidery, yes.
My goodness. Yes. So you could embroider an entire quilt?
Yes, you could. It would take you probably a whole day to embroider it. If you wanted to embroider, like do a huge embroidery piece, you can buy the software to machine embroider on the quilt.
I had no idea.
I know, it's pretty crazy.
Yes, it is. Okay. Thank you, Kelly. You explained so much to me. I'm telling you.
You're welcome.
Oh, I can't wait to tell my husband. Okay. Now, Kelly, this is you. You're talking about your business. I have seen your amazing baby quilts. You create those for individual clients because you make those to keep. What do you call them, Kelly? They are. Let me see.
The growth, the baby growth quilt. That one, yes. Okay. So wait, that was a. Thank you. Well, let me give you the secret. That was a panel I bought. You can buy those panels that have the design on them, and all I did was quilt it and bind it. That's an easy quilt.
I didn't know.
Yes. You can buy those panels.
I love them. I know that was such a unique gift.
Thank you.
Somebody could give it. It could be something. I don't have children. I have nieces, nephews, great nieces, great nephews, and it would be a perfect gift for me to give. So you sell those in your business?
I don't sell those, but you can get those online. I bought that one online. I forgot what store I bought it from, but I don't sell fabric myself. No.
Okay. I mean the quilts. Do you sell the quilts when you finish?
I have not. That was a baby gift I gave someone. But I could make those.
Adorable.
Yes, as a baby gift, because then then the parents hopefully will put the baby on it and take photos and send you the photos.
Yes, I love it.
Thank you.
Your work is beautiful.
Thank you.
I love it. Now, Kelly, not only are you an expert quilter, you also cook.
You saw my cooking photos. Okay, I have to get better at Instagram. I haven't been doing Instagram for a while, but yes, I love to cook. Love to cook.
Oh my goodness. I saw something on your Instagram page this morning, and I told my husband, I've got to give that a try. You have so many amazing recipes.
Oh, thank you.
I'm trying to come up with recipes to sell my fresh, homegrown herbs. So keep the recipes coming.
Comment, okay. Which I'll be happy to. My husband.
Several this morning.
Oh, good. Thank you. Well, my husband says that when I serve something, he may never see it again because I like making new things all the time.
Yes, so do I. So do I.
I get bored.
Yeah, that's right. And you get tired of eating the same thing the same way. Prepared the same way all the time.
So if you have some good rosemary recipes, I need those because we have a rosemary recipe in the backyard, a rosemary bush in the backyard.
Okay, I sure will.
Yes.
I'm trying to share more and more on my Instagram page. Okay. Right now, I'm working on my new business shed. That's where my business is going to move outside into the shed. And I'm working on that. But I'm going to have many, many recipes. And I will send you the link, and you can keep up with them, and you'll be able to scroll through and see the recipes. And it will be rosemary, thyme, and sage.
Oh, thank you. All right.
Thank you, Kelly. You have taught the old bird so much this morning.
Well, thank you.
I know I'm going to have to get some sort of quilting machine the more I get into quilting. But I didn't understand what a long arm and a lot of this, I just have no idea. And you've explained it so well. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. If you have any questions about quilting in general, let me know. I'd be happy to help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody, look, if you're interested in purchasing from Kelly and you need to speak with Kelly or you need to ask Kelly anything about anything we've covered today, please follow her on Instagram at Kelly Sew Bar Quilting. That's KELLYBarQuilting. Kelly Sew Bar Quilting on Instagram. Thank you so much, Kelly, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.